Trustee Snyder,
Yes.
Try again.
Trustee Patel. Here. Trustee Model. Trustee Paveza.
Here. Okay, at this time, I need a motion to allow trustee Snyder and trustee Snyder and trustee Paveza to attend via Zoom.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed?
Thank you.
Okay, that's allowed. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you.
We have no presentations or public hearings tonight. That takes us to item 4. Excuse my poor, I'm recovering from a short cold. All items listed with an asterisk are considered routine by the village board and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a board member or citizen so requests, in which event the item will be removed from the consent agenda, discussed by the board, opened for public comment, and voted upon during the meeting. 5 minutes. A, approval of regular board meeting of March 8, 2021. B, approval of special meeting budget workshop of March 8, 2021. C, receive and file Economic Development Committee meeting of March 3, 2021. D, receive and file Plan Commission of March 15, 2021. There are no ordinances and no resolutions tonight. That will take us to item 8E under considerations. Approval of an agreement regulating video surveillance cameras, Cross Creek subdivision. F, approval of proclamation designating April 25 to May 1, 2021 as Arbor Day Week. G, approval of recommendation to purchase washer and dryer units for the Public Works Departments from Grand Appliance and TV of Downers Grove, Illinois in the amount of $9,552. H, receive and file retirement letter of water and wastewater supervisor James Lucas from the Burr Ridge Public Works Department effective June 25, 2021. I, receive and file letter of remove? Okay. Removing I? Okay. J, approval to hire general utility worker 1 to fill the vacancy created by the resignation of Jeffrey Eckel. K, receive and file letter of resignation of part-time accounting specialist Lori Dolce, effective March 19, 2021. L, approval of vendor list dated March 22, 2021 in the amount of $422,043.86 for all funds plus $178,710.51 for the pay period ending March 6, 2021 for a grand total of $600,754.37, which amount includes special expenditures of $55,000 to Duke's Root Control, Inc. for a HydroStop 16-inch valve insertion. And now M, approval of vendor list dated April 12, 2021 in the amount of $326,472.06 for all funds plus $181,440.12 for the pay period ending March 20, 2021 for a grand total of $507,912.18, which includes special expenditures of $176,174.34 to the Illinois Department of Transportation per the agreement for partial payment for the County Line Road Sidewalk Project. And I have a motion to approve the following items on the consent agenda. Items 5A, B, C, and D, 8, E, F, G, H, J, K, L, and M.
So
So
moved.
moved. Second.
Okay, we have a movement.
I move.
Who seconded?
Chiappa, who seconded?
Snyder.
Snyder.
Snyder seconded.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, roll call, please.
Trustee Chiappa,
Yes.
Trustee Paveza,
Yes.
Trustee Snyder,
Yes.
Trustee Patel, Trustee Model, Trustee Francis.
Yes.
5-0, the motion passes. That takes us back to consent agenda item, 8I. I, was I.
I just wanted to ask Mr. Walter if the resignation was anything out of the ordinary, and if it fell in the normal number of resignations the village experiences during the year.
As I said, we have had the normal number of resignations that we normally experience as an organization so far this year. We wish Mr. Eckel well in his future endeavors.
Thank you.
Okay, with that, I need a motion to receive and file the letter of resignation of Public Works General Utility Worker 2, Jeffrey Eckel, effective March 12, 2021.
So moved.
Okay, we have a movement, second.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes. All right. I'm sorry. 8 considerations. A, consideration of recommendation to award contract for the 2021 road program resurfacing project to Brothers Asphalt Paving, Inc. of Addison, Illinois, in the amount of $765,618. David?
Sure, thank you. In presentation? Or I could just talk again. All right, there you go. So as we heard at the budget workshop, we had our road program bid opening. This is the largest by mileage in 18 years, as was approved by the village board back in January for us to proceed. We accelerated the bids. We got through an IDOT process, went out to bidding on March 16th. Got remarkable bids. We wouldn't have known that prices were coming in this low. Now we hear that asphalt work throughout the region is substantially lower in prices. We didn't know that going into this. Our engineer's estimate was $923,000. Like we said, just even applying the 2020 unit prices back to our 2021 quantities, we were still in the neighborhood of $878,000. So long story short, there was a substantial savings by going out to bid early, a very favorable bid environment. And we received a good low bid from Brothers Asphalt Paving, the amount of $765,618. They did our road program for us back in 2016, as well as I think back in 2012. So we're very familiar with their work. The bid was complete and accurate. Everything was in order. So we recommend their contract be awarded going forward.
Okay, any questions? Yes.
Just a comment. I think Dave Preissig and his staff were able to get these bid packages, these RFPs out early, when the paving contractors have the sharpest pencils and are hungriest for the business. So we appreciate that, as always, getting it out early, and we get the best possible pricing for our residents. Thank you for that.
Yes.
I want to commend Mr. Preissig for doing due diligence, getting early contracts, and making sure that you research the contractors and make sure they have the right credentials, and saving money for the village by being proactive. Thank you.
Okay, is there any public comment on this issue? None in the boardroom. Anybody calling in? Anybody on Zoom? Please identify yourself, unmute yourself, and you may comment. Any? All right, I need a motion then to award the contract based on the recommendation of staff for the 2021 road program resurfacing project to Brothers Asphalt Paving, Inc. of Addison, Illinois, in the amount of $765,618.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion, second. Any further discussion? Any further public comment? Roll call, please.
Trustee Francis?
Yes.
Trustee Chiappa?
Yes.
Trustee Pavesa?
Yes.
Trustee Snyder? Trustee Snyder?
We lose Joe?
Yes.
Thank you.
Trustee Mattal?
Yes.
5-0.
5-0, the motion passes. Thank you, David. B, consideration of recommendation to award contract for the Chase Moore Sanitary Sewer Lift Station Rehabilitation Project to John Neary Construction Company, Inc. of Addison, Illinois, in the amount of $397,160. David?
Sure, thank you. As we heard it also at the budget workshop, the Chase Moore Sanitary Sewage Lift Station, we discussed this back in September 2020, after the pumps failed in August of 2020, the electrical shortage that it completely took out both pumps. In the current configuration, the pumps are aligned down in a dry well. It's an underground vault, 22 feet below the ground, configured in such a way that we have to be in a confined space entry situation with harnesses, gas detectors, people up top, rescue equipment, et cetera, even just to go down in and service or maintain a pump, let alone to try to get it out is inefficient because of trying to rig it and rail it and get it out. Pumps themselves were fairly expensive. All this labor is extensive. Again, just keeping this current configuration was inefficient for both maintenance and operations, everything going forward. So we designed a new pump configuration. We're going to rehabilitate the existing wet well. We're going to put 2 new submersible self-priming pumps in there, both 10 horsepower. We're going to have the same capacity that way, but they are more efficient, more easier to maintain. They'll be on a rail system, so we'll just be able to take them up and down through the wet well. So there is no more entry into a confined space, no more entry into a vault in the ground. Easier to come by. Again, they'll be reconnected back to our SCADA system, our monitoring system for control and data acquisition. That being said, we took the design that was and the bid documents offered by RJN Group. They put them up electronically on a website, so bidding was very quick and easy. Bidders then, we didn't have to go and print documents and make those available for sale here and then receive them later. Those documents were available online to a prospective number of bidders, a greater number, and more transparent, because when we made addenda, it was easily issued to all of them as well, so things could be done quickly. And they all knew who was all bidding against each other because they could all see the plant holders list online. So it was more transparent process as well. We had a bid open on April 7th. We got 5 great bids. One had to be rejected. So the one for John Neary Construction Company, we wanted to accept in the amount of $397,160. That other bid that we wanted to reject was actually $28,000 less than that. However, they were missing key critical items in that bid document, the proposal, such as the addenda that I just mentioned. So we had no way of knowing that they had the work that we were changing from one bid document to the next. They had not filled out the subcontractor listing, so the electrical contractor that should have been listed there really had no way of knowing what the prices were or what was being changed as well. So all those things kind of played into the fact that it was an incomplete bid. So we were rejecting that bid and awarding it to the next one, John Neary Construction Company. Their bid was complete and accurate. We've had good experience with them. Other towns have as well in Bentonville and Lombard doing just the same work. The consultant engineer RJN Group has worked with them too on other projects, and everything has gone successfully with them so far. So we know this contractor is very familiar with the kind of work that we're going to be doing at Chase Moore. The time is of the essence to get that back up and running. So get started soon. That being said, we had the contract documents ready to go with John Neary Construction Company.
Thank you, David. Any questions by any of the trustees?
No.
Yes, trustee?
Comment, please.
Yes.
So thank you, Mr. Preissig, for a better engineered overall installation. It'll be easier and safer for maintenance and servicing of the pumps. Also appreciate the temporary solution that staff came up with to buy us some time to come up with this permanent solution. So, and I appreciate all those efforts. So thankfully, going forward, those of us in the southeast corner of the village will be able to flush our toilets. So thank you.
Good point. Anyone else? Any public comment? Anybody here in the audience want to make a comment? Anybody want to call in and make a comment? All right, with that, I need a motion to award a contract for the Chase Moore Sanitary Sewer Lift Station Rehabilitation Project to John Neary Construction Company, Inc. of Addison, Illinois, in the amount of $397,160.
So moved.
Second.
All right, we have a movement, second.
Who seconded?
Snyder.
Snyder.
Thank you.
Give that one to Joe. It was a tie, but we'll give that to Joe. Okay, first of all, any further comment or discussion by any of the trustees? Any further comment or discussion by the public? Roll call, please.
Trustee Francis,
Yes.
trustee Snyder,
Yes.
trustee Chiappa,
Yes.
trustee Pavesa,
Yes.
trustee Matal,
Yes.
5-0.
5-0, the motion passes. 8C, consideration of recommendation to award a professional service contract with RJN Group of Wheaton, Illinois for construction engineering services during the Chase Moore Sanitary Sewer Lift Station Rehabilitation Project in the amount of $65,725. David, you still have the floor.
Thank you. So RJN Group was the consultant that we brought on board immediately after this work had necessitated itself after the pump system failed. RJN Group was working with us already through our MWRD program for the inflow and infiltration control program. We knew through the proposal document that we reviewed among the many that got them on board for that IICP program, that they were very familiar as well with sanitary sewer lift stations. They had done successful work with Village of Streamwood, Villa Park. We knew about that and checked up on those things. So we were, as approved by this board back in September of 2020, their scope of work increased to then incorporate the sanitary sewage lift station design. They were very professional in getting that done. Again, they offered the bids online, got us some good bid prices that came in under even what their conservative estimate was. So we're very satisfied with their work. Again, they were on board with Streamwood and Villa Park, Pennsylvania as well for work just like this. So we know that our RJN Group is very familiar with the work going forward. Send us a proposal for what this would be to monitor the construction of the sanitary sewer lift station. We just don't have the staff to keep up on that major project over the course of the 7 to 8 weeks that are anticipated. So they gave us a proposal in the amount of $65,725, which is $5,575 under what we anticipated in that draft workshop as presented at workshop 1. So going forward, we'd like to see them for the construction engineering services.
Thank you, David. Any questions of any of the trustees or comments? Any questions or comments by anybody in the public? Can I get a motion to award a professional services contract with RJN Group of Wheaton, Illinois for the construction engineering services during the Chase Moore Sanitary Sewer Lift Station Rehabilitation Project in the amount of $65,725?
So moved.
We have a move?
Second.
Snyder? Any further discussion or comments or questions by the trustees? Any questions, comments by anybody in the public? Roll call, please.
Trustee Matal,
Yes.
trustee Snyder,
Yes.
trustee Francis,
Yes.
trustee Chiappa,
Yes.
trustee Pavesa,
Yes.
5-0.
5-0, the motion passes. Thank you. Last item on the considerations agenda tonight, 8D, consideration of a plan commission recommendation to approve a request for a special use as per section 8B2FF of the zoning ordinance to permit the expansion of a restaurant with the sales of alcoholic beverages and a variation from section 11.13 of the zoning ordinance to reduce the number of parking spaces required for a restaurant, Z03-2021 7880 Burr Ridge Parkway, Patties.
We're going to hand it over to Mr. Pollock to present this.
Chair?
Thank you, Evan. Thank you, Evan and Mayor Grasso and board. The Plan Commission held a public hearing on March 15th to consider a request by John Manderscheid, the owner of Patty Sunrise Cafe. The request is for special use to expand the restaurant with the sales of alcoholic beverages into a space adjacent to the current restaurant. And in order to do so, it was necessary for them to also request a variation of the parking requirements for the expansion of the restaurant. Restaurants in the B1 district, which is County Line Square, are a permitted use, but if they are selling, include alcoholic beverages in their business, that it requires a special use. Thus, the addition of this 1,100 square foot space at 80 Burr Ridge Parkway to the restaurant requires a special use approval. You may be wondering why they are using that right now. They have been, I believe, since November, December. They've taken advantage of the board's approval of a temporary amendment to the zoning code, which allowed businesses to expand into vacant space during the pandemic. This was an accommodation the village and the board made for existing businesses to temporarily expand their business into vacant space without having to go through the normal zoning approval processes. Patty Sunrise Cafe did that. It's been so successful, they want to do it permanently. The temporary approval expires in May, and this would allow them to just continue to operate in the 1,100 square feet at 80 Burr Ridge Parkway. They are also, it is also necessary for them to request a parking variation. As the board is well aware, County Line Square does not have sufficient number of parking spaces on site to comply with the zoning ordinance. Anytime a new business replaces an old business with more parking required, they thus have to seek a parking variation. In this case, the previous tenant, PostNet, required 5 parking spaces. Converting that retail space to a restaurant space increases the parking demand to 11 spaces. Thus, they're increasing the number of spaces at the shopping center is short by 6 total spaces. The Plan Commission considered that parking variation and determined that it was a unique situation in that Patty Sunrise Cafe is limited in their hours to breakfast and lunch. And in fact, their recommendation included a condition that the parking variation is subject to that hour limit. And based on those limited hours, Patty Sunrise Cafe, they do not conflict with other businesses, and during the hours that they are open for business, there's more than enough parking available for other open businesses during those hours. So based on that, the Plan Commission did recommend approval of the parking variation, as they did with the special use, finding a restaurant use to be consistent with County Line Square. So I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have. We're looking for direction from the board to proceed with the preparation of a final ordinance for the special use and the parking variation. Thank you.
Thank you, Doug. Good to hear your voice. Any questions by any of the trustees of Mr. Pollock? Yes.
I just had a comment. So he's been operating in that space since last year, and really hasn't been any parking issues. I'm at that market at least 4 or 5 times a week. I always find a parking spot.
Correct. Yes, Anita?
I just have a comment, exactly what trustee Scapa said. I haven't seen a problem, and I believe they're sharing the parking lot with Brookhaven, and the population that visits Brookhaven is there for 15 to 30 minutes. So there's a big turnover. So I don't foresee an issue in parking conflicts with either businesses.
Anyone else? Any trustee? Anybody in the public? Does anybody have public comments, questions, or concerns about this special use and variation? For the record, please note that John Manderscheid is here in attendance and would be available for questioning, I presume. And so I have one. So is it going to be mimosas and Bloody Marys? Is that the idea? Okay, that's what I thought. Okay.
I can't
Good.
tell you to less 72 hours, Mr. Garber agreed to take 78 and 80 and put it together in one piece and redo the case for 5 years, plus another 5 years after.
Good. I think that's great news for us, and I thank you. And I think bringing the ability to have a Bloody Mary or a mimosa or a glass of champagne with breakfast or brunch is an excellent addition to your business and to Burr Ridge. So thank you for coming forward on that. With that,
Sunrise Cafe will be here.
thank you. Appreciate that.
It's been a crazy time without here. Now, it would have been very, very tough. Thank you all personally. My wife, Patty, really standing by us again. Thank you.
You're welcome. So with that, can I get a motion to approve a request for a special use as per section 8B2FF of the zoning ordinance to permit the expansion of a restaurant with the sales of alcoholic beverages and a variation from section 11.13 of the zoning ordinance to reduce the number of parking spaces required for a restaurant Z03 2021 7880 Burr Ridge Parkway Patties.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any other comment by a trustee? Any? Yes, I'm sorry.
To prepare the ordinance, correct?
This is to
Yes.
prepare the ordinance.
Thank you.
That was my comment.
Okay. Any comment from the public? Roll call, please.
Trustee Snyder? Trustee Matal?
Yes.
Trustee Francis?
Yes.
Trustee Chiappa?
Yes.
Trustee Pavesa?
Yes.
5-0.
5-0, the motion passes. That takes us to item 9, public comment. Let's start with the boardroom. Thank you, John. Appreciate it. Let's start with those in the boardroom. Is there any public comment from anyone in the boardroom? Okay, is there any public comment from anybody who has called in or is participating by Zoom? Any? Okay, no public comment. That takes us to item 10, reports and communications from village officials. Let's start with the village officials, the trustees. Any reports or communications from any trustees? Okay, I have an announcement. A little sad news. On behalf of the village board and staff, I extend the deepest condolences to the family of Amar Patel, who died on Tuesday, March 30th. Amar was a 10-year-old fourth grader at Elm School. He was diagnosed last October with diffuse midline glioma, a very aggressive form of brain cancer. Amar, like most 10-year-old boys, loved Legos, Star Wars, and Harry Potter. I am told Amar had a great sense of humor and was a compassionate boy with unfailing positivity and bravery, even after he was diagnosed. Our sympathy goes out to his parents, Pratish and Namisha, as well as Omar's younger sister, Leela. The family is planting an apple tree at Elm School in his memory, and the school is placing red ribbons, Amar's favorite color, on trees throughout the community. Donations can be made to the Lurie Children's Hospital Foundation in support of families experiencing financial hardships during times of a child's illness. In addition, we are beginning today the month-long celebration of Ramadan for the Islamic Holy Month. This is when the contents of the Quran was given to the Prophet Muhammad. There will be fasting from dawn to dusk for those observers in order to achieve spiritual reflection and prayer. So we recognize the beginning of Ramadan from today to May 12th. And finally, I will be in Minneapolis on business at the next board meeting. I've already discussed it and its agenda with Mayor Pro Tem Trustee Francis, and he will be presiding. With that, can I get a motion to adjourn to April 26, 2021 at 7 p.m.?
Mayor, I'm going to do this.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. I apologize.
No problem. Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to add that April is Sikh Awareness and Appreciation Month in the state of Illinois. Sikhism is a religion that has been founded over 500 years ago in northern India. Sikhism is the 5th largest religion in the world, with about 500,000 Sikh Americans and 25,000 in Illinois. Sikh Americans pursue diverse professions and make rich contributions to our nation in agriculture, information technology, small businesses, the hotel industry, medicine, and serving in the armed forces. Sikhs believe in a life of prayer, are committed to equality and justice for all the people, and emphasize service to humanity. Burridge is a diverse community, and we recognize and thank the Sikhs for their contribution to making Burridge a very special place. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee. Appreciate that. And now with that, can I get a motion to adjourn to April 26, 2021 at 7 p.m.?
So moved.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We're adjourned. Thank you very much.